15 degrees, you can see your breath. Out here in the lake effect, breaking tables like it's poetry. Where else would you rather be? Pinto, Ron, Elvis, and the Lay Poncho. The members that you need to know. 'Cause once you out here, now you're family. Where else would you rather be? Where else would you rather be?
Welcome into the Nickel City Crew. I am your host, Rob Crippen. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Nickel City Crew. This episode, along with all of our episodes, are presented by Crippen Legacy Entertainment here on Spreaker and StreamYard. We're so glad that you're joining us for some of your Buffalo Bills and NFL content again today. And as always, these are my Bills thoughts said out loud.
It's a vibe so ridiculous. Since 12 plus 83 was 6. The shout rocking like a symphony. Where else would you rather be?
All right, let's get straight to it. Really excited for tonight's episode. It's funny because I like to think of myself as like kind of almost in the perfect pocket, of Bills fandom in respects to maybe you can give me 5 more years to be perfect. But I remember when the Bills were awesome in the 90s and the Patriots were garbage. And then obviously I lived through the drought and I became a season ticket holder through the drought and stuff like that. So I kind of feel like I can get the best of both worlds. Well, there seems to be a new sheriff up there in Boston, and we're getting ready to see if he's ready for prime time. Joining me tonight, as always, my co-host, Riding Shotgun, Adam Dump Truck Rupsick. Check him out on Instagram and Twitter at Adam Rupsick, RUPCZYK. Holla at the crew, DT. What's hot? What's good, man? Holla at the crew, man. I'm excited about this.
Nickel City, what's up? What's up, baby? What's up, Rob? How we doing, man? We're out here on another beautiful Thursday night. Fall is in the air. It's starting to get a little chilly out there and warm up during the day. It's the perfect season, as you put it, as a lot of people do. And here we are, back for another one. I'm excited to be here, Rob. What's up, baby? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, Nickel City. We're out here.
I can't call it, man. I'm really excited. There's something about Patriots Week, and it's funny because that's part of my fandom. DT is, I remember when they had Jeff George, and they were just, dog shit. They were garbage, and I'm growing up, 5, 6, 7, and 8 for the Super Bowl run, and New England was never even a thought. We beat them and beat their ass every year, and the same thing with the Colts back when they were still in the division. And then all of a sudden, this dude from Michigan gets drafted. Mo Lewis puts that hit on Drew Bledsoe. And all of a sudden, it's like, what is going on? And I was, I'm a drought fan too. So obviously I came up through the drought, started my season tickets in 2009. And I remember, DT, just driving up for these games and like just a hoping and a wishing and a praying. And I'm frying turkeys in the lot. And, you and I became great friends and during the tailgates and stuff like that in the grass lots. And like, it was just crazy because I didn't expect to win. I drive up 650 miles, knowing I got to drive another 650 back. And I'm just hoping and wishing and praying, can this be the day? Can this be the day? Could this be the Sunday that we actually take Tom Brady and Belichick down? It never seemed to happen. I think they were like 23-4 or something crazy, ridiculous against us. And now the tables have turned, DT, where we're the big dog on the block. We're the bully on the block. And I love it. And now New England seems to have another quarterback, and we're getting ready to get into him a little bit. But how do you remember those games? Because for me, it was bittersweet. I would get amped and I would get hyped up and I would drive up from Charlotte and I would be ready and the tailgate would be lit. And then you get curb stomped as soon as you walk in the Ralph, and it wasn't fun at all for that 20-year run. And DT, I'm so happy that the shoe's on the other foot now.
It's a good thing, right? I mean, truthfully, my best memories about, especially when it comes to the Patriots in the drought, were not ever going to a game. I mean, the games I went to, they got stomped out. They got crushed. So those weren't the best memories. Obviously, the tailgate and everything was fun, but some of the best memories were obviously some of the big wins, some of the only wins we had during that time. The opener with the 33-0 to Sam Adams bringing back the pick six and 31-0, and getting the oxygen. And I remember being in college at Oswego State and thought, doing my journalism thing. And I had my own radio show on Sundays called the Triangle Offense on the Oswego radio, WNYO
I like
88.9.
it. Look at
Tuning
that.
in up there in central New York and Oswego. And I had my own radio show, Triangle Offense. And it was the game when Brady threw 4 picks, Drayton Florence pick 6, cover of Sports Illustrated, Fitzpatrick, and that game was happening live during my show slot. So one of the best memories I had, we called in Brent Johnson, one of my best friends, one of my best friend's brothers who lives in Buffalo still, and he was out like at a bar in Buffalo, and he called into the radio show and basically was just like giving me the scene, set the scene for me like you did, at the tailgate a few weeks ago when I was setting the scene. And it was just like electric. It was pandemonium, and I was like, oh man, I can't. I'm so mad I'm not there and experiencing this. And it was like our Super Bowl. The Bills beating the Patriots was truly a big deal, and I remember all those wins extremely vividly because there were so few of them. But I never actually went to a game and witnessed them winning during the drought. I've seen them win, obviously, since. I was at the perfect game and in the playoffs and a few before and behind that. But the true atmosphere of beating the Patriots was our Super Bowl, and that was the time. And now we're coming in as 8-point favorites against these dudes at sitting at 4-0. So I obviously will pick this over any of those drought memories for sure. But it was incredible kind of just looking back, knowing like, man, I never actually watched them win live. I remember going the Monday nighter was like the first night game I've ever been to in the NFL.
Okay.
And
not the 56-10 one.
No.
You're talking about now
Derek
recently.
Anderson.
Okay. Oh, you're talking about recently. Okay. Yeah.
Derek Anderson, Monday nighter. And the first night game I've ever been to at the Ralph, it's all 1 o'clock. And the night game was such a big deal. And now we're bitching and complaining because I'm, not productive at work because every goddamn game's a night game. But I remember going to the Monday nighter, and it was the first year I lived in Buffalo. So I think it was like 6 years ago. Derek Anderson had to come in. And I had my season ticket card, but I effed up and I brought the last year's card instead of this year's card. So the guy's scanning it. He's like, it's not working, man. And I'm like, well, it's working. Like, it's my seats. Like, and he's like, no. And then he turns around. He's like, oh, this is last year's, ticket card. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. And I'm like, I'm not missing my first night game in this stadium. Like, we got to do something. He's like, well, you got to go to will call, stand in line, do all that. I'm like, and it was probably the most elusive DT has ever been in his life. There was a crowd of people. There was a crowd of people walking by, and the mayhem of getting into the stadium. And the guy kind of looked the other way, and I just ducked behind him and got into it. Started weaving through the people, bouncing in and out. I'm not easy to hide, that's for sure. And I was bobbing and weaving and snuck into that. I didn't really sneak in. I had the ticket. I just brought the wrong one, right? So I knew my seat would be available. It wasn't anything like that, but I just had to evade security and get through that. So I remember literally sneaking in behind the security guard and just bobbing and weaving through the crowd, running all the way to my seat, looking over my shoulder, and then still paranoid that they were going to come get me in my seat. But they let me watch. And I don't know, what did we score? Like 9 points that game or something. It was a brutal effort and a tough one to see. But the memories were the wins, and there were a few of them, and everything else was just kind of blended together. It's the Pats week. We'll get up for it and screw Tom Brady and walk out of there with a loss.
And that's funny that you say it like that, because that's exactly my existence, was driving up and like I said, just hoping and wishing that we would get that win and getting amped up on Sunday, getting out there nice and early at the tailgate. And but you always knew in the back of your mind, like, man, this dude across the way he's a bad MF. And I don't know if we can get it done. And you never had the team. You never had the horses that Belichick had. And, whether it was on defense or offense, you never had the same type of horses that they did. So it's awesome, this existence now with the shoe on the other foot. Let's get into it tonight, DT, a little bit about how the shoe is on the other foot. The Bills quickly over the New Orleans Saints 31-19 last week at the Ralph, a rare 1 o'clock game that DT is talking about and referencing. DT, for me, quickly on it, because I do want to talk Pats tonight. I'm starting to just understand and realize that, the spreads and stuff like that, that's for Vegas. And I understand how that works. They want to get money on each side. They want, the house always wins, all that type of stuff. That's why they build all those damn hotels and casinos out there. DT, this just doesn't seem like this type of team that's going to be pulling away from a lot of teams. I understand that we can put up our 30. They did it again, 31 points on Sunday. The defense, with the way that it is right now, until some of those reinforcements come back with the Bash brothers, we'll see about Mad Max down the road. I don't really know if we're going to be in a situation where our defense can hold teams from keeping it relatively close. The game wasn't really close. I never really thought we were going to lose or anything like that. But boy, when Brandon Cooks caught that touchdown for a half second before we saw the replay, my heart was fluttered a little bit like, man, this is not a good situation. I don't want to be sweating it out against the Saints. And obviously the Bills pull it out. That completion didn't count because it hit the ground. But DT, what did I text you? I said, I don't know, man. Call me spoiled, but another game that it was just a little bit too close for my liking. But I'm starting to just kind of come to the grips with the fact that until the defense either bows up, get some reinforcements back, this is kind of the life we're living, man. We're going to have to put up our 30 and then hope the defense can make a couple stops down the road.
Sure. Hey, Capaccio already called you spoiled, as we talked about last week, and kind of fought through that. And, it's still okay. It's still okay to be critical and moving forward. A team that probably might be the worst team in the NFL comes in and kind of, give you their best shot on Sunday. Beautiful day in Orchard Park, sure. Beautiful day at the stadium. I didn't get to the game, but we'll get to the tailgate report obviously later. But it's the NFL, and we have to also accept that this is every team's Super Bowl when they come and play 1-7 in the boys. Like this is every team's Super Bowl as well, Rob. Like the Miami Dolphins came in, divisional opponent, 0-2, don't go 0-3. And they were pumped up and gave us their best shot. The New Orleans Saints got their ass kicked in Seattle the week before, and young quarterback doesn't have a win yet on his resume. There's some talent on the roster. Like, we're coming in and giving you our best shot, and we're going to see that all year. And that's what the New England Patriots saw, that whole realm of when 12 was their guy. Every team, we just admitted to it in the intro of the show, Rob. It was our Super Bowl trying to beat the Patriots. And when we did, even though we were 4-12 or whatever, it didn't matter because we beat the Patriots that year. So it's every team's Super Bowl when they line up with 1-7 in the boys. And I'm not saying it's not a daunting task. Obviously, in that defensive room, it's probably not that comfortable to sit down on Monday and say, all right, we got 1-7 this week. Fuck. We have to also we talk about growing as a fan base and being able to be critical, but we also have to be accepting of every team's going to literally make this their Super Bowl when they play us. So I agree. Credit to the Saints for coming in and not laying an egg. There was some back and forth, again, very similar to the Miami game, where there was opportunity for us to blow the doors wide open. And I'd like to see that change and us to be able to really put the beat down on somebody here soon to kind of have that feeling. And, a couple misreads, a couple plays away, and on defense, still not getting off, letting Spencer Rattler scramble and whatever. But like everyone's talking about spy all week and all this bullshit. Like, I'm not worried if we're not putting a spy on Spencer Rattler. Like, that wasn't in the game plan. And he had a few runs up the middle, and like everyone now is bitching all week, calling in a GR saying, we need a spy. It's like, no, like the dude didn't kill us. He had a few decent runs, and they kept the ball moving, and credit to them. Defensively, they got into us as well, but you could kind of tell at the end of the game, it wasn't that we just flipped the switch and turned it on, but it was our talent was way better. And we found ways, we shut shit up, and we got easy points at the end of the game to kind of pull away. But we have to be okay with every team thinking it's the Super Bowl when they come to play us, and be prepared to do it.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I don't really often give that credence as much as I probably should, but you're absolutely right. I mean, we literally started the show that way. We are going to get their best shot. So I really do like that point, because for New Orleans, a team, like you said, humiliated the last week, in Seattle, they knew what was on the docket for that day. And obviously, they had an opportunity to pull off an upset. Didn't happen. Bills were the better team. You're absolutely right. So I like that point for sure. Now, as we transition, tonight's episode is presented by I-86 Podcast Network. Listen, DT, I mean, we just keep stepping up in the world. We keep doing our thing. We keep our head down. We grind. Listen, shout out to my boy Tom Wujik and Bobby Hansen over there at I-86. Listen, DT, they invited us to start simulcasting. They said, listen, let's build both brands. Let's try to do some things positive. And that's really what I love about Bills Mafia, to be honest, from Justice General all the way to, you know what I mean, to the King, you know what I mean, Jay Spence. I love when we collaborate as Bills Mafia, when we come together and we give each other opportunities. So I really appreciate, again, I-86 After Dark, the podcast network. Check them out. Listen, we're on there. We are live right now on their YouTube, and we really do appreciate the opportunity. Again, shout out to Tom and Bobby. Listen, DT, okay, you said everybody gets their best shot, and they put it up against the Bills. We are not going to have many opportunities to get a really, really good test until probably the Kansas City game, to be honest. Now, maybe Atlanta. We'll see how they fare in a couple weeks on Monday Night Football. But honestly, after that, it's a bye week. We've got Carolina, which we're expecting some good things from in that game, and that expects to be a party. Then you've got Kansas City. DT, between now and Kansas City, there's just not many opportunities for us to be tested. New England likes this kid, Drake May. I know he had a little slow start week 1. I think it was against Vegas. After that, they like this kid. I guess I heard that he had 3 back-to-back great games, or at least decent to great games. They're excited about him. I hear all the guys calling in on GR and stuff like that, all the different commentators talking about it, and the quote-unquote, Patriots insiders. DT, talk to me about it. They like this kid, and he's young. I don't know if you call him Josh Allen Diet, or if you call him, I don't think he's, Will Levis Wish-App Josh Allen, but he's got some talent. He can move his legs. I mean, they like this kid, man. They like him.
At 23 years old, he probably was born and raised on Taste of Pizza out there in Huntersville, North Carolina. That's where he's from. That's where he's from, right? Shout out to the sponsors. They fed him too well. He's thick. He definitely has tendencies of 1.7, and he did go Power 5 conference, went to North Carolina. So it's not the same story of going like small school and just seeing the raw talent and building him into a superstar. He went to a big school. He was kind of highly touted, first-round draft pick, all that type of stuff. But yeah, he's proven himself. Last year, I think it's different coaching now, but I think they did a good job of kind of letting him play, letting him play in the fact of like, yes, he didn't look good in a few times and he got himself in a lot of trouble, but they just kind of let him roll. And then I think that helped him a lot into this year where he looks way more comfortable. They invested a lot into this team. I think Mike Vrabel's obviously a lot better coach, and they've put the players around him. They put the players around him to really, make plays and make him look a lot better. And he's showing a lot of comfortability. And I think, yes, he is going to be a problem here coming up. We just have to, know that he's never going to be 1.7, and we'll always have the edge when it comes to that. But credit to the Patriots organization. And I erase that last 5 seconds. I can't be ever saying that out loud again.
I can't believe you said that.
Yeah, screw those guys. But he's ready to go. He's talented. I think again from last year he made a lot of mistakes as a young guy. I don't think he's immune to those by any means. And what a better way to kind of get him into some mistakes than 8:30 ruckus whiteout crowd at the Ralph. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to be a big factor in this. It's not Carolina coming off a 30-0 victory thinking they're the shit, and then they go in and come back to reality. It's nothing like that. You're going to have to come in and actually beat the Bills. The Bills aren't going to beat themselves at home in this situation. So a lot on his plate in front of them, but credit to the kid for getting out there and slinging it. 23 years old. I know Josh Allen was 23 at one point, and we were like, oh, that's our quarterback, 23. He's making plays. But it's just like, man, as I get older now, hearing 23 years old, like, and this kid's going to come in at 8:30 and make plays, it's like, I got to see it to believe it. I got to see it to believe it.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be a crazy atmosphere, and we'll talk about that as we wrap up the show tonight with the Tailgate Report and stuff like that. But, I mean, listen, first ever whiteout. We're copying Penn State, got those rivalry jerseys, the icy ones coming out on Sunday night. The crowd's going to be electric. You already know how that works. I mean, it's the last season at the Ralph, so everybody's going to be full throttle. Division rival. DT, here's my only thing that listen, I'm not going to be surprised if they keep this game close. I'm not even going to be surprised if they beat us because of the fact of the defense, and we'll talk about that and touch on that in a second. My big thing is that I don't want him to have anything easy. How about that? if there's anything that he gets on Sunday night because of his talent, his arm strength, his ability to move around the pocket and escape. Listen, make him work for everything. You're absolutely right about the age. He's a second year. I think he's only played 17 games. They only won one last year when he started and finished the game, because I know he came out of one of them against us or whatever. Listen, put this kid in situations where he's uncomfortable. The best way to do that is to have penetration up front, getting those guys in his face. I don't know if Ed Oliver's going to be back. I know that he was limited again today. Listen, find a way to make him uncomfortable. Find a way to make his life a little bit tougher. Yes, they did. You're right. You can give shout out and you can give props to the fact that they did invest around him. Their line's better. I mean, their line was absolute dog shit last year. They draft Will Campbell. They've got some other guys in there. Listen, find a way to make him uncomfortable and let's see how he handles it. What I'm going to be upset with most is if everything is coming easy. Spencer Rattler is okay. He is not a great quarterback. He's definitely bottom 5. He got some easy stuff on Sunday. Not everything was easy, but he did get some easy stuff. You absolutely pointed out right. But DT, it's going to piss me off if I'm watching him run around, escape the pocket, different things like that. No, gap integrity, and he's just doing what he wants to do. Or flip side, they just run it down our throats because of the fact, they saw that the Saints did it. They saw that, the Dolphins were able to do it. They saw what the Baltimore was able to do, and they just run the ball on us all damn game. I'm not going to like either one of those, because running the ball, all that does is keep the game closer. All that does is give them ball control. Find a way to stop the run on Sunday and find a way to affect the quarterback. I know it sounds cheesy and corny, but that really is the recipe for most successful defenses, DT, is find a way to affect the quarterback, stop the run, make them one-dimensional, and just don't give up easy shit.
I don't think last week we took a threat of Spencer Rattler. I don't think that was in the game plan at all. No, I think everything else was gauged to let the quarterback do whatever he wants and we'll guard everything else. And I think this week that tone changes a little bit. I think we're taking May a lot more seriously than Spencer Rattler. I think in the game plan, that will be a situation where we focus on him and take 10 out of the game in all aspects. This team has shown they kind of figured out their run game a little last week. The rookie Henderson had a lot more carries. Stevenson's a good back as well. They paid him a lot of money to be their feature back, and they still drafted Henderson, and he kind of figured it out last week. But they also they are very prone to mistakes. Against the Steelers, they have 5 turnovers?
Yeah, it was wild to watch. Yeah.
5 turnovers, and the Steelers just beat them by 1 touchdown. So yes, they're figuring it out, but I think our game plan is a lot more serious and catered right directly to 10 and shutting him down and making other players beat us. Okay, let him run the ball, but 10's not going to get in a rhythm. 10's not going to beat us with his feet. He's not going to find his receivers. He's not going to find Stephon Diggs. Get that rivalry back in check, whatever we want to talk about with that. But I think it's a lot more serious game plan to go directly at 10, and penetration is the key to do that. As well as this team has shown they're prone to turnovers. So kind of really try to force that early, get the crowd behind you and carry on, get that momentum. The past 2 games where we had opportunities to blow the game open, this has to happen this time. Because this team's a lot better and can come back, as opposed to the teams we were playing that showed they really couldn't.
Yeah, no, they could put up points for sure, and obviously they showed it last week against Carolina, and put up a bunch of points. So we'll see how it goes in that respect. But I wanted to flip it as we flip to the ball before we get to the tailgate report. Offensively, James Cook, man, I feel like I want to take like 50 victory laps, because I told the portion of Bills Mafia who kept saying, get him out of here, he's selfish. And I kept telling everybody that just calm down. Like, let the agents work. This dude is worthy of a raise. And if you were at your job and you knew that you had outperformed your contract, you would be well within your rights to ask for a raise. So I'm not trying to rub anybody's nose in it, but boy, like, could you imagine what this offense would look like without him? Like the way that they are catering it to the everybody eats approach, the way that they are catering it to, let's take more off of Josh's plate. Let's not make him do everything. He throws his first pick last week, which is like, 40 yards downfield, doesn't hurt us at all. DT, the dude was just named AFC Player of the Month today or yesterday. He is so electric. He is so elusive. I would be at what I heard, I don't know, a half a dozen, 20 times throughout the offseason. Ray Davis can do what he does. Ty Johnson could do what he does. I don't even see Ray Davis getting any carries anymore. Ty Johnson has his role, and I respect his role as a pass catching back, and obviously a third down back that can help block. They are letting James Cook tote that rock. They're giving him opportunities, and he is not failing. He is not disappointing. He's been every penny worth that raise. And I just kept telling everybody, keep the vibes good. Let this man get paid. No, he's not going to get $15 million. No, Brandon Beane is not going to pay him $15 million. But let him do whatever he's got to do. And then everybody, as soon as he did his little hold in, oh, ship him out of town. I never understood the logic. I always thought that he was an excellent player, and I thought he was worthy. That's the number one thing. The guys in that locker room understood that he was worthy of it. That's why nobody trashed him. That's why Josh supported him, hoping, yeah, hope they get something done soon because we really need him. He's amazing, man. He's a top 5 back to me now.
Yeah, second best playmaker on this team and a top 5 back in the league. He's proved every second of it. I mean, in fantasy, it was in fantasy as well. I know it's a whole different world in fantasy and whatnot, but it was heavy hate on 4 this year. Like, no way he's getting 16 touchdowns again. No way, none of this. And he might have 16 touchdowns by week 8. Rob, he's about to score 2 a game. He's elusive, and he's running between the tackles this year, Rob. Not that he hasn't before, but he was more of an outside back, more of a speed edge guy, and majority of his tackles right now are coming between the tackles, and he's shifty in the middle. He's got a little shady McCoy to him between the tackles. Like he hits that hit and then boom, he's up. So I think he's worth every penny. Obviously, I'm not saying give him less carries, but I'm also saying let's chill with we don't need to give him 95%. And we know Ray Davis can play. We know Ty Johnson can play. So let's start putting that in the fold a little bit. But maybe this is all part of gamemanship and strategy and the fact of like, damn, they are just going to run James Cook 20 times. So we got to be prepared for that. And then the second you're prepared for that, you see Ray Davis for 10 carries and you don't know what's going on. So maybe it's all part of setting up the bigger picture, and I'm all for all that. But I do agree, like, credits where credit's due. He got 16 touchdowns with 47% of the snaps. He's playing way more than that this year.
Yeah, he is.
And, and so I agree. Like, you see it with Derrick Henry every year, toting the pill hard all season. And then by the end of the year, he's not the same guy. He doesn't have playoff experience. He's not good in the playoffs. Because has 40 carries a game and he's worn out. So I would like to see, a little less off his plate. You showed us you're worth the 12 mil. We love it, but we also know we can make plays with 17, and we can make plays with everybody eats, and we can score other ways too. So let's try to ease back a little on him, and so it's not an injury, and it's not something that he gets worn out by the end of the year, because we know other backs can play, and that's no discredit to him. I love every second of it, and I hope he does score it. I hope he does score a touchdown in every single game. But I would like to see kind of roll back, create some longevity with this, so we have this exact burst, this exact speed in the AFC Championship, in the Super Bowl, in times where we need that yard.
No, I'm with you on that for sure. I mean, if Joe Brady was trying to make a point, or whatever the case may be, that this guy could be a feature back, then I'm definitely I'm all for going ahead on and just slowing everything down a little bit and not really running him into the ground as we kind of come into this, little softer portion of the schedule as we approach the bye week. And then after that with Carolina. Now, as we begin to transition again, tonight's episode is also presented by Taste of Buffalo Pizzeria that DT talked about earlier. Yes, Drake May is from Huntersville. That's right here in Huntersville, North Carolina, right here in Charlotte, where I am. Listen, if you are missing your food, if you are a Western New Yorker and you are down here in Charlotte, check out my girl, Jen Pataglia, and her family. Taste of Buffalo Pizzeria in Huntersville. They've got all of the authentic style pizza. They are from Buffalo, Depew area. They've got everything that you need. I'm trying to tell you, the wings, the pizza, it all tastes like it's right from back home in Western New York. You will not go wrong. DT, as we begin to wrap up on this game, I already kind of said it. I'm not concerned that we are going to lose, but I do see a path for them winning. I couldn't see a path for the Saints winning. I could barely just barely see Miami winning. Definitely couldn't see the Jets winning. It was week 1, so anything can happen in week 1 for Baltimore, and obviously Baltimore is a whole different beast. For this game, it's Sunday night at the Ralph. I just got to believe, the white jerseys coming out. I got to believe that there's got to be some energy that they can feed off of this first wideout where we can't let these boys come in and punk us. Yes, Vrabel, you're right. He is a better coach than Mayo was. Yes, the roster is better than it was last year. the Bills got to take care of business. Don't get punked on rivalry night where you were releasing your jerseys. Listen, take care of business somehow. This young kid is going to be here to stay. He probably already is the second best quarterback in the division because Tua looks like he's on the decline. Don't give him any easy shit. Don't let them come into the Ralph and get a win. I will be mad as much as I could see it possibly happening. I'll be mad as a rattlesnake, man. Don't let them punk us, man, on rivalry night.
Well, I'll ask you, Rob, who will be more mad, you or somebody that spent $170 on one of these rivalry jerseys, and they're only wearing them for one game, and if they lose in that game, you have that jersey for $180, and that's the one game they lost in the season. So yeah, I think a lot of people would be mad. Obviously, it's the goal, the number one goal of getting that one seed, and that's what we have to do. That's the one thing we haven't done, and there's nothing that sets up better for us in the previous years of Josh Allen's tenure than this year to get that one seed. So I think that's the goal. That's right. It's the divisional matchup. It's even if you drop one on the road to them later in the year, get this one. Like the Sunday night ball, white out. It's going to be awesome in there. I'm jealous. I'm not going, and we'll get into that. And it's going to be loud, and the jerseys are sick. I played in Madden. I played this game in Madden last night at the Batch Pad.
Nice.
And did the jerseys, and they do look clean. They do look nice. So it's going to be a great, visual feature. But at the end of the day, it's primetime ball, and Josh Allen's at the helm, And so, yes, this team is a little spicy, and I think we're building this team up maybe a little more than usual. The Patriots, I'm saying. I think we're building the Patriots up a little more than usual because we're kind of longing for somebody to be a worthy opponent, right? We need somebody to be a worthy opponent, and the Dolphins were wrote off quick. The Saints had no chance. The Jets were blah. The Ravens were, and we came back and beat them, and it was wild. So this is our first worthy opponent, if you will. And I think the Mafia, we're kind of juicing that up probably a little more than reality really says it is. And I think we're going to see that on Sunday night. This is maybe the most least expected blowout, and this might be the one they put up 45 and we're out of there quickly. So I'm hoping for that, for the sake of all these kids with $180, shiny bill on their shoulder. Get them the win so they can keep wearing that jersey to school, and it's not a waste. And I think we're cramping this opponent up a little higher than they really deserve to be. They're worthy. They're fine. Drake May's good, but I think it's a little cranked up more than usual. 17's a primetime killer, and we're gonna go in there in this whiteout and hopefully make it happen.
All right. I like that. I definitely didn't expect that last statement about maybe just blowing their doors off. I mean, but hey, I'm always down for it. I mean, like I said, I can't get enough of after that 20-year run. I always love and seeing the Patriots go down. Now, final thing, we're getting ready to get to the Nickel City Crew, tailgate report. DT, you already know, I have the stamina. I don't have any problem. And I rather enjoy now boxing and sparring on Twitter. I have heard some weird stuff. I'm not going to call anybody out or anything like that. There's this one dude that I went back and forth with for the last about day or so who just got horrible takes. Number 14 is back in the building. Okay. Now listen, me personally, and I'm a little bit different. If I was at the Ralph on Sunday, I'd clap and I'd cheer for him. The reason, but when they on the come out or whatever they're doing now, there's not hockey. They're probably not doing a tribute video or anything like that. Although that would be classy, but I doubt that they do something like that. Listen, I understand that he plays for that other team. I understand that he is no longer a Buffalo Bill. However, he was my favorite Buffalo Bill when he was here. There is an argument, DT, over a 4-year stretch. There is an argument that he's the greatest wide receiver in Bill's history. That's over Andre, over Molds, over Lofton, over I mean, hey, listen, the stats. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't have the career longevity, but a 4-year stretch, you can't find me better stats. Stevie John, you can't find me better stats. What I would love to see and what I don't expect to see based on what I'm reading on Twitter, they are ready to boo this dude. They are ready. It's like Jack Eichel all over again. I don't get it. I don't understand that energy. Maybe it's me. I never really understood the whole Jack Eichel thing because, I mean, we were losers and we kept losing. So why would you not expect a young kid to eventually get frustrated and want to leave and go somewhere and compete? Diggs is obviously not a situation like Jack Eichel, but the Mafia seems ready, DT, to let this dude hear it. I expect it on every catch that he catches and stuff like that. Can you explain to me why that is? Why do people hate him so much or dislike him? I don't even like using the word hate, but there seems to be a vitriol for this dude, and he was amazing. And all of the ones talking shit about him, you all were cheering for him on Sundays when he's hooking up with 17. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. We have 17.
Yeah,
we won the
I think
divorce.
it's just the nature of the game, Rob. It's the nature of the game, and it's somebody that, you know, was painted as the villain, and it was something that I think we, as a fan base, wanted to feel better about. Why are we not getting over the hump? Why are we not getting that Super Bowl? And that was an easy scapegoat, if you will. And it boiled up enough to where he legit got shipped out of town. But I agree with you, Rob. You cannot deny the success he had while he was here. We've talked about it numerous times of the miseducation of Stefon Diggs, where he just wanted to win. And maybe, who knows if we were wrong or right in that. But the intensity is what we were talking about. The intensity is what this team lacked and what we needed. And he brought that. If he did it the right way, we don't know. Obviously, that's all internal.
We don't go to work with him. We don't go to work.
Who cares? But the actual production, like you said, the stats are undeniable. I mean, he had the 4-year stretch. He had over 1,000 yards every single year he played for the Buffalo Bills. Was he great in the playoffs? Not necessarily, but the games he was getting locked up and double, triple teamed, Gabe Davis had 4 touchdowns in the 13-second game. Like his being good led him to be locked up in the playoffs, leading other people to have success. And you have to accept that. The drop in Kansas City, everyone wants to get back to that one, yada, yada, yada. But I think there's a lot of other factors. You can't deny the success he had while he was here. You can't deny that 17 is who he is today, because he had a guy he could throw the ball to and he knew it was going to come down with a catch. So I have no qualms with Diggs. What's he wearing? 1 now? Is he 1 on the Patriots?
He's 8. Yeah,
8.
Number 8.
All right. So 8. The last time 8 was in the building, he came in and lost the game, but we gave us a run in week 1 in Lamar Jackson. So I don't have no qualms with 8. 8. He's going to get booed. That's going to happen. And I hope it relates to kind of like, okay, it's the intensity of the game and we boo him and it doesn't even matter because we're up so big late. It doesn't, even if he does get a few catches in the fourth quarter, who cares? But I don't think you can honestly say like, it's okay to boo him in the, in the heat of the moment.
Ticket. You do what you want to do. You pay your ticket.
Do your thing, and if it leads to the intensity and leads to a ruckus, volatile atmosphere, I'm all for that. I don't want teams to come in here and be comfortable. I don't want teams to come in here and have a good time. So if it's booing Stefon Diggs and it gets him all worked up and everyone's like, "Oh damn, Diggs," and everyone's booing, screw it, let's boo the guy. But you can't deny the success he had when he was with us, and I appreciate all that success. As I gear up for a great wedding weekend coming up, and with Kai and Paige, and they're diehard Vikings fans, and a great story of like in their early part of the relationship, we came down to Charlotte, and Stefon Diggs was traded from the Vikings to the Bills, and how big that was, and what a crazy environment. And then he comes in and instantly starts having success. And I agree, Rob. I mean, up and down North Buffalo, every street, every house had one of those like politician signs, Alan Diggs 2020, Alan Diggs 2020. So I'm all for the intensity of the game, and if it's making that team uncomfortable coming in here and booing the guy, great. But you can't deny the fact that he was successful here and he was a big part of 17's success. And I will never say that wasn't a thing.
And it's that last part. That's what I don't care about what they do as a fan. I'm kind of, that's tongue in cheek. I'm joking. I know they're not doing a tribute video. I know they're going to boo the Patriots when they come out. It's that last part. They try to rewrite on Twitter the history, and they try to almost make it as if he didn't mean anything to Josh's success. And I just never understood, like, it was a symbiotic relationship. I never got true, because now what you're actively trying to do is rewrite history to fit your narrative. Like, that's not even like, why is that even necessary? Like, Diggs was great. Allen was great. Was Allen as great as he was before Diggs got here? No. And did he become a better player after Diggs got here? Yes. And same thing, was Diggs as great of a wide receiver? I think he was a great wide receiver. Didn't have the opportunities. And then he comes here, gets away from Thielen, gets away from Zimmer, who's running the ball all the time. And all of a sudden he rocket ships off. Yeah. I think that it was just perfectly symbiotic. I think that they both helped each other. You guys remember the Sports Illustrated cover. You guys, like DT said, remember the stuff with the Alan Diggs poster. So just relax a little bit on Twitter. Stop coming at me. I have the stamina to fight y'all until Sunday. I'm sick of fighting. I gave up on this one dude that had horrible takes, and he's crying for targets. I'm like, Diggs never cried for targets. He was getting all the fucking targets. Like, why would he cry for targets?
And why wouldn't you throw to him? Why wouldn't you throw to him, right?
Yeah, and force feeding him. I'm like, force feeding him. He's always open. Like, he's a route technician. Like, why would Josh not throw to somebody open? It just none of that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I will also argue with the point of that, like, people saying you can't compare Stephon Diggs right now to what he was 5 years ago in Buffalo. Like, the dude is 5 years older after an ACL. Like, he is not the dominant receiver he once was. So yes, he goes out there and might not look great, and you could be like, see, like, that's the worst point. That's the worst point. I agree, like that, because he's not who he was 5 years ago. He's tore his ACL. He's been around. Like, it's not who he is. So, credit to him. I'm not gonna glaze him on Sunday and like, oh, we need to respect this man. Like, fuck all that. But you can't deny the success he had, and it was beneficial to this team until it wasn't. And obviously, when it wasn't, he got shipped out. So, like, it's not like it wasn't, man. And we kept him, and it was toxic. If it got to the most toxic point, and we shipped him out, then okay, then we should be happy about that. That, like, it didn't reach a point where it was too toxic. It kind of reached into that realm, and then things happened. We moved on. That's the business of the NFL. But you can't deny the success he had, and you don't have to support him Sunday. But you also can't say he wasn't good for this team in 17's growth.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm going a little bit overboard on purpose, to be being theatrical in that respect. Yeah. But I mean, I absolutely, I just think that that there should be a modicum of not rewriting history and stuff like that. And that's all I wanted to say on that. I have the stamina, Twitter, to fight y'all all the way to Sunday. After Sunday, it doesn't really matter to me anymore. He's not on the Buffalo Bills anymore. I roll with the Bills. The Bills are my squad. So it's all good, man. All right. Now, as we begin to wrap up tonight, the Nickel City Crew Tailgate Report is presented by Queen City Vintage. Please head on over to Queen City Vintage. Listen, our boy Nick has got a great storefront right there on Elmwood across from 40 Thieves. Check them out. Listen, they've got all the nostalgic Buffalo Bills, Buffalo Sabres, t-shirts, hats. We've been doing our giveaways. We really appreciate you guys being engaging with us. Shout out to our creative director, Olivia Nagel, and all of her work and effort. We've got another shirt for you as well. We're going to announce our winner as well. Listen, head on over to Queen City Vintage. You won't be mad that you did. You're going to be supporting a great store. And like I said, they got some cool drip. Is it DT drip? They've got the cool drip, the kids say. I love it.
The drip.
DT, last week, it was funny because I'll let you go first because you've you're the mayor. You might as well run against Byron in November. So listen, tell me about what happened on Sunday, what's going on this weekend, because I know as the viewers can tell, you're on location somewhere. Where are you? Talk to me about what's going on this weekend, because I know it's a special one.
Okay, yeah. So last weekend, as we've kind of prefaced and got into, October is a wild month for me here coming up. Pretty much every weekend we got something going on till we do the finale. When we come down to Charlotte and get it rolling. But last weekend I was like, all right, I'm gonna lay low. I'm not gonna do anything. I got a big 3 weeks coming up. We're gonna stay out of trouble. Just chill out. Well, that kind of happened, but also kind of didn't happen. So I had my good friends Greg and Mara. They just had their first child about 3 weeks ago. Well, about a month ago now. They live out in Rochester, so they invited me out on Friday.
Okay.
And I will say this weekend, Rob, is one of the best that we're about to go through. Is probably my best free food run of my life. This was an incredible sequence as we'll break it down. So I go to Rochester last week. I meet the new baby with Greg Mara, beautiful little boy, Bo. Congrats to them, and good luck in fantasy this week. So meet them. We have a nice strip steak, asparagus, baked potato, all on the grill on Friday night. Good, great. Very nice. Saturday, kind of hanging out. Don't really have plans. Just going to come back to Buffalo. My friends Kai and Paige getting married this weekend. They call me and say, "Hey, we got some stuff going on with the wedding. We're getting stuff ready. Like, you mind coming down helping us out?" I say, "I got nothing going. I want to lay low." Perfect. So I went Rochester to Jamestown.
Okay.
Meet up with them, help them with some wedding stuff. I get here, what's going? The Traeger's going. We got
Ooh.
ribs. Like
What?
big, like country
Yeah.
style ribs and
Mm-hmm.
more strip steak. Okay. So
Okay.
I come in, we have ribs and strip steak on Saturday night, hanging out, watch the Penn State whiteout game, watch
Mm-hmm.
Bama, Georgia, just kind of laid low.
Right.
Sunday, Vikings, 9:30 a.m. Paige and Kai, big Vikings
Eggs and
fans.
eggs.
We go over,
Yeah,
we
eggs
go
and
over
eggs.
to we go over to Kai's parents, Jeff and Ann's, right up the street here. They have a full brunch spread, a beautiful Bloody Mary bar. I mean, we're
Ooh.
talking, I should
Celery
put the
stick,
video, yeah,
bacon, all
like,
that.
oh,
Yeah.
the big shrimp. It took me 3 bites to get through a shrimp, Bob. I've never had to take 3 bites to get through a shrimp.
I love it. I love it.
A good spread there. Watch the Vikings. Vikings lost, unfortunate game, but then all of a sudden it was 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock rolls around. Buffalo Bills,
Bills time.
outside TV, perfect fall day. It was an awesome time out there. They have a great setup over at Cheney Road. Shout out Jeff and Ann. Afternoon comes. We have make your own sub on the menu. They have a bunch of sub rolls, all the meat for the subs. Boom, 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 bang. Drinking the subs, eating the subs, having a good time.
Party.
Yep. And then I feel bad about this. But, with all the excitement and emotion, I did not tell my mother I was in town. So,
you're not supposed to say that on the show.
well, no, so
I'm
she
just
finds
teasing.
out. So Shelly finds out I'm in town and insists they're having friends over Sunday night. Insist I stop by, say hello. What happens? I get to my parents Sunday night. I roll in. My dad's out at the Traeger. We got 3 racks of baby backs. So I went.
You just kept walking in the gold all damn weekend. You lucky dog.
Strip steak, brunch, subs, spare ribs, pork shoulder, baby back ribs,
God.
all just on the weekend. My low-key weekend turned into a meat extravaganza. And I was supposed to come home Sunday night, and I was on my parents' couch. I was like, I can't leave. I gotta stay. So that led into, this week, and I said veggies and water all week, man, before the wedding. I gotta fit into my tux now this weekend, man.
Oh my God.
So it was a low-key weekend, but a very good one, surrounded by, the true inner circle, ate well, enjoyed the Bills' victory, and it's all teeing up for this one. It's all teeing up for this one. The biggest weekend thus far, biggest game day thus far. Paige and Kai's wedding coming up on Saturday. So I'm down there at their house now doing the pod, and we're off and running. The itinerary's full from 8 a.m. tomorrow until they literally say I do. So really excited for it. It's going to be a really good one. Our full week's plan. I can't wait for the tailgate report next week to kind of go through everything, because we got a whole plan for what the game day looks like. And the Vikings play at 9:30 again, so we got a kegs and eggs back-to-back weeks, and the accommodations are going to be great for it. We stayed an extra day in the condo we're staying in, but we'll get into all that next week. I wish them good luck. I got my speech ready to go. I was practicing it on the ride down here, and my inflections and the punchlines and trying to get it right. And I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here with them.
Yes, best man. You got to stick that landing. I remember with my best man, Ace. Man, I had to stick the landing for sure. So yeah, absolutely, no pressure.
Yeah. So we'll get into that next week. But last week was a great, awesome meat weekend. We'll call it DT Meat Weekend for the Saints game, and we'll see what happens this weekend.
Man, that is. I mean, you literally were just walking in the go everywhere you go. You're just finding another $20 in your pocket, finding another $20 in the couch cushion. You just kept walking into blessings all weekend long. That is really awesome, man. DT, down here in Charlotte last week, we had another game. The regular season is now wrapping up for Nate. In that respect, now. Horrible for little Quincy, man. His game was canceled for rain. We actually play on natural grass at that particular field for Quincy. So he was really bummed out, but we'll be right back at him this week. Really can't wait to get on the field, with his little team. Like I said, remember I had to switch teams, and now he's on a different team, an age-appropriate team. So I was really excited for him and to see him get out there, but it was rained out, unfortunately. So that's all good. Bobby played a soccer game that morning. On Saturday morning, they still played in the rain because they're on turf. He won his game. And then Nate went out. We had a home game. He did his best. You know what I mean? The team is not, I mean, I don't want to trash to 11 years. The team's not that good, but listen, What did I tell you last week? We had a little teaching moment where I told them effort is what I care about. I care about your effort. Not your offensive line, not all the other guys around. What are you doing? Much better effort, played really hard. So I offered to do the scoreboard. Every week they send out a little volunteer list. So I said, okay, I'll do the scoreboard. I'm sitting there. I got Ivy, and we're up there, and Quincy's there with me. And I look to my right, and I see a microphone, and I'm like, it's like I don't know if it works. I don't go to, you know what I mean? I've never been there before in that respect, so I've never been in that booth. So I grab the mic, I tap it on the thing, and I can hear it. So then I'm like, Quincy, I said, Quincy, head outside real quick, outside of this, and tell me if you can hear me. So I, and I'm keep tapping the mic. He's like, I can hear you. I was like, okay. So I start, nothing crazy. I'm just 1st and 10 Giants, and 2nd and 10 Giants, you know what I mean, or whatever. So the director of the entire Pee Wee League comes up to the booth or whatever. He's like, you sound really great. I really like it. So I was like, I couldn't tell if he was like fucking with me or something like that. And I was like, I'm like, are you being facetious? And he was like, no. He was like, I'd pay you to come here and do this. He was like, you are really good. Then another mom comes up like, you sticking her head in like, you are really good at this. You should do this for a living. I'm like, well, I actually do have a little podcast, but I'd love to. That's my dream. It was being a broadcaster. Long story short, I did the little thing for them, so I'm going to do it again this Sunday. So this Saturday,
there you go.
Like, listen, man, I'll just do all the games for Nate for the rest of the season that are home games. So it was cool because it brought back memories. I mean, I used to do the Star Point football games back when I was a kid. It just brought back memories and stuff, and it was totally innocent. I just grabbed the mic because I saw it there, and I was like, does this thing work? And is this on? I'm like, Quincy, go check. And it was on. So we're just 1st down Giants, and, penalty on the play, shit like that. And like the crowd loved it. It added a little something to the game. So I was like,
let's go.
I'll keep doing it then. You know what I mean? If they like it. So that was really funny. This
all right,
weekend,
Michaels. Yeah.
I listen, man. I'm totally organic. It wasn't like I was seeking out attention or something like that. I was sitting there doing the clock, and then it's just in me, man. I love broadcasting. So that was the funny story. We watched the game. Listen, Sunday, man, it was slow motion. I told you at 1:00. What did I tell you? I was worried about Ivy, and I'm like, how am I going to do this? Talk about a trooper. I mean, she was ready to go. She took an early morning nap. Then she took one like around 3rd quarter. I mean, she was with all. I mean, I had all my kings and her as well, my princess, and I mean, it was all good, man. We had a great time watching the game, eating. Quincy's mother cooked like Alfredo, so I mean, all the kids are eating and they're having a great time. And Ivy had a great time too. So it was really, really sweet this weekend. I really enjoyed being able to watch the game with her and my kings, and yeah, I mean, we got the win. It wasn't too stressful, so we enjoyed it, man. But DT, it was
right on,
if you see me at the game,
in
it
the
was
booth.
funny as hell,
In
man.
the
It was
booth.
funny,
All
man.
right.
People kept coming like, you're really good at this. You're really. I'm like, well, I'm like, thanks, man. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Yeah, tune in Thursday, 7 p.m. You'll see how good we are, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I should have plugged it on the audio and told them everybody to listen, but it was funny, but it was really cool. So listen, DT, send your best to Kai and Paige. Tell them that I said congratulations for sure. Marriage it's a beautiful thing. If you're doing it for the right reasons, everything that I've heard from you guys, from you, is that they're doing it for the right reasons. So as long as they're doing it for the right reasons, congratulations. I wish them nothing but the best and success. DT, I mean, stick the landing, okay, on this. We'll check in with you next week on the Tailgate Report. Stick that landing, best man. It's a big responsibility. I know sometimes we can joke about it, but stick the landing. Just stick the landing. That's it. Stick the landing, because it is going to be something that they'll always remember.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love these two. They mean so much to me, and so I've taken it very seriously. And put in the prep, done the preparation, done my training camp. I'm not going in unprepared. But you never know when when the lights are on, you pick that microphone up. I'm not worried about not being able to deliver. I'm just worried about, my emotion of, because I truly do love these two. Like, they're my best friends in the world. And I've seen this, this relationship from day one to, to literally this wedding. And it's a beautiful thing. So I love them with all my heart. And I will be giving them 110%, being the MVP as the best man and letting them have a great day. So really looking forward to it. And Nickel City Crew, I will stick it, because it means a lot. And I don't mess around when things like this happen. So thank you, Rob. All
right. Well, listen, out there, enjoy the game. I mean, whiteout. Listen, I can't imagine what that scene is going to look like on TV. Should be really cool. You got your white, got your jerseys on. Like DT said, those expensive jerseys, but they'll be out there in force. Really, really excited for just to see the aesthetics of it. I'm really excited to see the aesthetics. Who's here?
Well, we got the bride and groom right here.
What?
We got the bride and groom right here.
There we go.
Nickel City Crew, Kyle and Paige.
How we doing, Rob?
There we go.
What's up?
Touchdown.
T minus what? 40 hours?
Hey Rob, he's
What's
riding
that?
shotgun in my car this weekend, baby.
That's what I mean. I love it.
Hey.
My co-host riding shotgun with his best buddy, man. Listen, congratulations. I don't know if you heard me, but congratulations to you and your beautiful bride. Have a blast. Have a blast out there, man, for sure. Oh, DT, listen, out there, Nickel City Crew, enjoy the game on Sunday night. Enjoy the weekend out there as well. I think that the weather is going to be good back in Buff. So listen, out there, yeah, man, enjoy the weekend out there. Be safe out there, and listen, Sunday night, you get a chance to watch your team, the best quarterback in the world, do his thing. I think he's going to put on a show. I mean, he in prime time, Josh, he's always showing up in these occasions. He's always showing out. I really do think the Bills are going to get a win. I would be shocked. I won't be shocked if we lose, but I really don't expect it. I don't see it. I think the Bills take care of business. The whiteout, the icy whites, Sunday night, NBC. Check us out, 8:30 on NBC if you're not at the Ralph. DT, I'm excited, man. You have a big weekend up, but I'm excited for you as well, man. Enjoy all of the festivities and also obviously enjoy the game when you get around to watching it Sunday night, okay?
All right, Rob. Thank you, man. Rick Ross said it best. These motherfuckers mad that I'm icy.
I love it. Listen out there. Spread love, not hate. These were my Bills thoughts said out loud. Hit them with a Go Bills, DT.
Go Bills. 5-0.
Go Bills. I love